Lee, where are your headphones? You wear the headphones every episode. Well, Lee, I forgot them. And I'm mad at myself. Do I want to pull every hair out of my butthole one by one to punish myself? Yes. Am I going to do that? No, because I've been told that's strange and off-putting. Well, what else am I supposed to do with the hair in my butthole? Not pull it out? Not roll it into tiny little balls? Throw it around my room? I say a lot on here that I probably shouldn't. Hello, future kids. Your dad's weird. I did. I forgot my headphones. I took them last week. For everyone who has been listening the last couple weeks, I've had 2 weeks in a row where I was directly exposed to COVID and had to quarantine so I didn't get my mom sick, because if I gave my mom COVID, I couldn't, and that actually kind of leads into what I want to talk about today. Is guilt, and just I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Very quickly, I want to say thank you to Fume and Manscaped for sponsoring this episode. I will tell you more about them later, and I'm going to say it because I've had it for months and have told no one about it. Syatt Consulting.com is revamped. Thank you so much to Nareg Kashafian. I think I said your name right. I really try. I don't want to be like the white guy saying like the names incorrectly. I try really hard. Nareg Kashafian, great guy, brother to Shahan, who, if you haven't watched the Bitcoin for Dummies episode, it's his brother. Did a great job with my website. If you need a website, hit up Nareg. Great guy. If you want to do some consulting on podcasts, I'd love to help you. So that gets into what I want to talk about today. I want to apologize for last week. I'm not going to get into it. Everything's fine. Honestly, things are better, actually. But I had a little bit of a sadly moment last week. I was going through some personal shit, and I probably shouldn't have done an episode, to be honest with you. But I made a promise to you, and I wanted to do it, and I probably shouldn't have. So I'm sorry. I have a lot of shit's about to change a little bit. This will be the second to last episode in this office. I'm going to do one more this week. I'm vacating my office this week, and then we'll see. We'll see if you'll be able to tell, because I'm going to bring the green screen, depending on where I set it up. That might take a couple weeks to set up. But anyways, something that I think very few people in podcasting do well is really show, like, just take what they like and who they are in real life and put that out there. I think a lot of people are worried about what people will think and what people will say, which is what I really want to talk about. I think the best person at putting out what they like, I'll just say it. The problem, and my girlfriend and my mom both laugh at me about this, my brain's always going, and I just will kind of like start halfway through a thought. I think the reason why Joe Rogan has the most successful podcast, if not the most successful, one of the most successful podcasts, top 3, I don't know what else could be bigger, out there, is he's done an amazing job of taking what he likes and what he's interested in and talking about it on the podcast, whether it's hunting or fighting or comedy or whatever. And I think he would tell you there are misses. No one who's done, what is he? Is he close to 2,000 now? 1,600 something? There's no way he likes all of them. I'm not shitting on, if we haven't spoke, I haven't seen Joe Rogan in years, and I love when people are like, can you put me in touch with Joe Rogan? Not really. And I still do love, every once in a while I'll get a comment like, you told him audio was the future. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm Joe, whenever you want to slide me a piece of that Spotify money, I will take it. No, he being silly. But I think a couple other people do a really good job. I think Jeremiah, almost called him Jeremiah Wonders. Jeremiah Watkins does a great job. I think Josh Potter does a great job. I think Ryan Sickler does a great job. Obviously, Joey does a great job. There's a lot of people like Josh Potter, who has been on this podcast. I'm really happy for Josh. I was going to say the word proud, but I mean, proud, it sounds like, I guess I am proud of him, for him. I'm just happy for him. Josh, I met Josh at the Fourth Wall, which is the open mic place I did in LA. And he had just moved from Buffalo. I met Josh when he had opened for Tom Segura, but he was working like a regular 9-to-5 job in LA, just making ends meet before he even went to work on Your Mom's House. And I've seen him take who he is and really blow up over the last couple of years by doing what he likes. He plays Madden. He likes to bet on sports. He was on the radio for years, and he has been able to take what he is, who he is, and take off. And same with Jeremiah. Jeremiah is a silly, goofy, funny dude, and has, with Jeremiah Wonders and with Scissor Bros. I don't know if do they call it brothers or just bros? What they've been able to do is inspiring. And I think a problem I've had for my entire life is worrying about what people think and what people are going to think of this, or if I'm going to hurt someone's feelings. And something that I hear a lot from people is, oh, you can't care what people think. You just can't. And I think that's the wrong. I think sociopaths don't care what people think. I think there's very few people who legitimately don't care what people think. I think what the reality is that if you're a human being with a soul, you care if you hurt someone's feelings. You care if someone's mad at you. I think what I'm slowly starting to do, and I'm not great at it, is, and I'm sure there are people that hate me, rightfully so. I haven't been a great friend to some people, some of my exes probably. I'm not saying, I hope that doesn't come off like that. I'm far from a great person. I've probably pissed off a lot of people. But what I'm trying to do currently is, if I can look at myself, like the reason why I was upset last week, I'm not going to get into it, but the reason why I was upset has to do with someone in my life, and I can look at myself and the way I handled that situation and what led to it, and I can honestly say, and if I was going to talk to that person, I would honestly say, I'm sorry that that's how they feel, but 100 times out of 100 times, I would have handled that situation the same way. And that's how I'm going to try to live my life. And I'm going to fuck up, I'm sure. I'm sure I'm going to do shitty things. But the way I'm going to try to live my life is I'm going to try to live to either A, be like that, I can honestly look at myself in the mirror and I can look at the way I handled something and be proud of it and stand by it. And there's been a lot of it. Like, I just, I haven't always worked as hard as I could have. And I worked hard, but there's always more you could put into it. or in relationships or whatever. If I can look at myself and say, like, yeah, I handled that the best way I could, or have the balls, which I haven't always had, to say, you know what, I fucked up. I should have called you back, or you know what, I said something out of anger. There's no way to justify it, but I'm sorry that I said it. If I can do that, and someone still is mad, then I'll probably be upset about it. I'm not going to like it, but I'm not going to change who I am or what I'm doing to have that person or that thing in my life. The last couple of weeks, there have been two comics who passed away. Bob Saget and, God damn it, I'm so sorry. Let me Google it, because I have a terrible memory, and you guys are screaming it at me. Let's see here. Louis Anderson. There we go. Marijuana. Bob Saget and Louis Anderson passed away the last couple weeks, if you're listening to this in the future. And if I said this on other podcasts, I'm sorry. People like my girlfriend or someone will say, hey, I loved what you said on this podcast. I don't remember. I will immediately forget after this podcast. But what I've learned from their passings, or what struck me about the response to their passing, was how the vast majority, if not all of it, was positive. And people said, oh, they were so kind and so generous, and life is, you could die, I could die on this podcast, get a lot of views. Here's a will. If someone, do me a favor, if anyone ever finds me in a recording chair, like in front of like a podcast thing, hit stop and post it, because I want the views. No, I could die at any moment. On it, like, sorry if you didn't know that for yourself. I could die literally at any moment. And what's the point of having someone in your life who you have to change who you are or what you want to do for them? Really, it doesn't. And I'm not saying you don't make compromises. Like, for example, if I was living just by myself, I wouldn't live in Massachusetts right now. Not even close to a chance. But between my mom and family here and the girl that I'm dating, I feel like it makes my life better being here, even though I'm not in love with where I live, if that makes sense. So yeah, and I'm like literally figuring this out as I'm talking it out, which also pisses people off. There's always going to be compromises and all that. Like, for example, people like, you don't respond to comments. I don't look at comments, because a lot of the people who are commenting suck. And some people are like, oh, you shouldn't date someone with kids. Okay, here's it. If you're looking for someone to date, you're like, yeah, does dating someone with kids change my life? Yes. Is it like, and was I like looking for someone with kids? No, I wasn't. But I feel, I really am having a great time with my girlfriend and care about her, and her kids are great. Are they sometimes annoying? Yeah, sure. I'm sometimes annoying. But in like all the thinking I've been doing recently, I feel like having those her kids be part of my life will make me better. I I was alone. I had Joey and I had Steve Simone. I had a bunch of people in LA, but for the most part, I was alone for a decade. And there are parts of that I really like. I like being able to do whatever I want to do whenever. I like being able to sleep till when I want. I like being able to plan a vacation and just go. Like I could just go I could literally go to the airport right now if I want. In theory, if I wanted to. And yeah, with my girlfriend having kids, that is something that I will give up. But I feel like me having some structure in my life and having something for Lee, you crying? No, something's in my eye. Literally, something was in my eye. Having to care about people and to do things for people who are like what has struck me about my time with her kids has been how like pure and genuine kids are, and how they have some shitty moments. They do. They can be annoying. They can whine and cry and all that, but for the most part, kids are just way better people. Like they have better intentions than adults do. And I feel like having some of for me to be a better person, it's good for me to have to help them to play, to I don't know, to just have to worry about someone else other than myself, which is something Steve Simone has said to me for years, which is why he's such a great person with all the work he did with charity in LA, and still, it really does help. So, yeah, when I was on Hinge and Tinder, was I looking? You don't have kids? Swipe left. No, I ended up finding someone that I'm really, really enjoying most of the time we have together. Yeah, we've gotten into fights, and I'm sure I annoy her, and nothing is ever perfect, but what is different in this relationship than other ones that I've been in is like just like having fun with someone, and not having to do things that I don't want, besides watching some housewife shows, which, by the way, I know she's watching. I know you're watching. I love you and all that. Those shows, they're just awful shows. All they do is yell, and you know it. But other than those shows that she likes, if that's my biggest complaint, I can deal with, having to plan vacation. Like that's when you really boil it down to like what annoyances kids come with, like you can't go on vacation whenever you want. Like how often was I going on vacation? When I was coming back from LA, my plan was to get a job that's remote so I could go find a place to live and work remotely and find out what city I like. What's the point of me living? Like one of the places, and we talked about it on here with Coach, is I think living in Vegas would be fun. Okay, so let's play that out. I live in Vegas. The weather is nicer. There's no state tax. I get to gamble. There's food everywhere. It could be a lot of fun. But I'm also going to come home every night and just be alone. And to me right now, that's not worth it. So I know there's a lot of people out there like me who take a lot of what people think to heart, or maybe, I don't know. You have a job and you're like, this person's an asshole, or a family member, or whatever. As much as you can get negativity out of your life, and it does suck. It's like going through a breakup. Whoever it is, whatever it is, maybe you don't like fucking, I don't know, cooking anymore. Maybe you're going through a career change. It's gonna suck for a while. But if you truly can look at yourself and be proud of what you're doing and happy with how you're living your life, then fuck them. Like, fuck them. I don't care. I just said it. I do care, and it's gonna make me sad, and it's gonna hurt my feelings. When people say shitty stuff, it hurts my feelings. That's why I don't respond to comments or look at comments as much. Because, when people, like some asshole on Facebook was like R.I.P. Meatloaf or Louis, or whatever them, and put a fat picture of me. Hurt my feelings. It did. But block, fuck them, goodbye. I'll get over it, and then now that that's out of my life, I took that Band-Aid off, great. My life will be a little bit better because that asshole is not in my life. And I really do believe you can do it too. Very quickly, I want to shout out both of my sponsors for this week, and then we'll get back to the rest of the episode. I'm excited, and I really do believe in this sponsor, Fume. That's F-U-M, pronounced Fume. Fume is the safe way to quit smoking. It's really hard. I can't imagine how hard it is to quit smoking. I know how hard it is for me to say no to a fucking brownie. And it's really, really hard. And I'm not going to pretend that it's not. And it's, even with Fume, they're not a magic cure. But what they are is they're a way to make it easier. Okay? What Fume is they have handcrafted wooden inhalers, and they are made to comfortably replace the hand-to-mouth habit, and it's going to make quitting smoking easier for you. Each core is infused with 100% plants like peppermint and cinnamon. It's aromatherapy in an inhaler. There's no smoke, no vape, no nicotine to worry about. It's designed to reduce your cravings for smoke. Fume offers a dozen unique flavors. They have a ton, and even right now they're really excited about their quitting smoking cores. But do me a favor, go to breathefume.com/Lee and just check out what they have. They have, whether it's stress, sleeping, they have a lot of great products, but try the quit smoking cores. Right now, Fume is running their smoke-free January sale. You get 20% off their most popular course for quitting, and on top of that, as a listener of What Was I Thinking, they are giving you an extra 10% off your entire order when you use code Lee. Just head to breathefume.com/Lee. If you don't know how to spell breathe, BREATHE, Fume, FUM.com/Lee, and use code Lee at checkout to save an additional 10%. That's breathe, BREATHE, FUM.com/Lee, and use code Lee. kick off the new year right and make this January and the rest of the year a smoke-free January in 2022. I ad-libbed and it didn't go well. Thank you very much to Fume, and I love, as always, Manscaped. Roses are red, violets are blue, and don't let a wild pube wreck you. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and our sponsor at Manscaped are here for you with the best tools to get your balls ready for the special occasion. This V-Day, it's time to join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming. With our exclusive offer, go to manscaped.com and use code Syatt, SYATT, for 20% off plus free shipping. Listen, the holidays went by, it's been busy, but it's time to get your balls licked. That's all that matters. That's all we're talking about today is be happy, and what makes you happier than your balls in a mouth. That's really, at the end of the day, nothing. I can't even think of anything that would make me happier than that. And that is what Manscaped is here to do. They are here to facilitate balls and mouths. And they have a ton of great products. They have the new Lawnmower 4.0. I was watching the UFC last night, and the official trimmer of the UFC. Listen, they have so many great products. You can smell good. They have their signature scent, the Manscaped Refined Cologne. I have that one. I have the Crop Preserver, the Crop Reviver. Listen, Manscaped created their products for a night just like Valentine's Day, and they're going to make your date say, wow, what a great set of balls you have there. What would make you feel better than that? Oh, you're a nice person? Fuck that. How do my balls smell and taste? That is your goal for Valentine's Day. And ladies, if you're listening, the three of you, don't let your man's balls smell and taste bad. That ruins your night. You went out to dinner, he got you chocolate. You want to ruin that taste of chocolate with sweaty, stinky balls? No. Get your man some Manscaped for Valentine's Day. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code Syatt, SYATT, at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code Syatt. Join Cupid and shoot your arrow with Manscaped this Valentine's Day. So, I've been talking about some changes, and I'm still honestly not sure what's going to happen with the podcast. But I'm going to revamp it a little bit with this move. I'm going to start putting out some more content. I'm going to change up the Patreon, patreon.com/Lee Syatt. You guys have helped me so much lose the 140-something pounds, which is, yeah, that's what I wanted to say to that asshole who posted that picture. I'm like, look at me now, bitch. I got loose skin, bitch. I'm going to start adding some new stuff. And what got me thinking about this, like when I was talking about Rogan and Josh and Jeremiah, I'm like, what do I like? And I'm a boring I really am. I like, but here's the thing. It's not boring to me. I like traveling. I like food. I like movies, TV, sports, and gambling. That's right. And comedy. So we'll see what happens. There might be some audio only episodes. Like, for example, we'll see. This actually, see, just on the cuff. Episodes, maybe I'll change the release day. We'll see. And I'm gonna and again, I said this last time. The waistline didn't work out. There wasn't a need for a full-time waistline podcast. I just didn't have the time. It wasn't getting the numbers I needed it to get. And with the new job, I decided not to do the waistline full-time. But I'll mix in a waistline every now and then. In the next month or so, I should be at 150 pounds down. I'll do an episode then. But what I got into my head about was I love food. I do. I love food, and the food I love is not great for you. But how can I, as someone trying to lose weight, do something about eating pizza? I'll get shit for it. Well, fuck you. And the thing that, and it's like we were just talking about quitting stuff. You don't need to smoke ever. So it's a little bit easier to quit. Not easier, but there's no need to, you're not constantly faced with smoking. There's no way I'm going to, like, people always get, your taste will change. No, they won't. I'm always going to love burgers. I just have to make the smart decision to not eat burgers every day. And I've done it. I can do it. So yeah, I'm gonna, like, for example, next weekend, my girlfriend and I are going to Philly for a couple days because as you heard, and if you didn't hear, go watch the episode. Our trip to Cancun sucked balls, and they weren't the nice, clean Manscaped ones. They were the shitty, fucking, sweaty, stinky ones. So we're going to Philly, and you know what's our plan? Our plan is to eat delicious food and relax. And that is what we're doing for 2 days. So maybe what I'll do is I'll bring some of this equipment with me, and on the drive back from Philly, maybe her and I will record an episode, or maybe I'll do it in the hotel when she goes to bed. Who knows? We'll figure it out. But I'm going to talk about food that I eat. And if you give me shit for it, I lost 140 something goddamn pounds. Am I not allowed to have a cheesesteak once a year? Like, that is what I'm doing. Is I'm going to just start putting on this podcast what I actually like, who I am, and if the views go down to 3, I'm sorry. But that is how I think I need to live my life. Is just, I'm going to do and say what I like and what I feel. And if you don't like it, I'm very sorry, but maybe I'm not for you. And that's fine. And that's not just content-wise. There's a chance my girlfriend and I might break up at some point. I don't think so. So far, it's been a great 6 months. You never know. You never know. If we're not right for each other, I'd rather know than end up married to someone who I end up hating and you sleep on the couch. Wow, that's not good for anyone. So that's my 2020. It's a month late, but that's my style. That's my 2022 resolution, is to only care about doing, as long as I, like I said at the beginning, if I can look at myself in the face and say, I handled that to the best of my ability, I wasn't a bad person, then I'm gonna fill my life with what I like, what I love, and what I want to do. Because it's just, what's the point if I'm just doing it because I think someone else will be happy? Who cares? If they're only gonna be happy if you do stuff their way, that's not like my girlfriend's. She has 2 daughters. The older daughter got into some shit on the bus, and one of the kids was mean to her, and she was upset about it. And the younger one said, "Well, then they're not your friends." And like, that is like the benefit I was talking about of having kids in my life. It's just, it's to a 4-year-old, it's so simple. It's like, if they're not nice, then they're not your friends. And it, like that wisdom, and it really is, it's wisdom, helped me. So that's how I'm going to do. And let me just finish with this. Thank you to everyone who I've done consulting with over the years. I've been on Fiverr most of this year, but I'll just be honest. Fiverr takes a big chunk of the money. So I'll be on Fiverr, but I thank you again to Nareg Kashafian. Hit him up if you need help with a website. He revamped SyattConsulting.com. Go to Syatt Consulting and book directly with me. It helps me out. No problem. There's no way I'm going to make your podcast a million download podcast. That's not that, and that's why I feel like I've strayed away from even mentioning it and promoting myself. Is I see a lot of people, they make big promises like grow your podcast, monetize your podcast. What I am offering is guidance. And hopefully you won't make some of the mistakes that I made and that I've seen people make, because there's little tweaks that you can make that will give yourself a better chance. No one can make your I was just going to say no one can make your podcast a success other than you. And to be honest, there's a lot of great podcasts out there that no one knows about. And it's for whatever reason. Some of it's luck. But there are through a decade of doing this, I've learned some things, and I can make your journey a little bit easier. And don't step there. Don't release on a Saturday. Just little stuff like that I've learned, and I would love to help you with. You can book directly your time on there. My schedule is up there. It's going to change a little bit every week. So it will only have a couple weeks out. I'm also going to have some seminars. So you're like, oh, well, it's too expensive for me to do one-on-one. I get it. I'm going to start doing some group seminars. So we'll get 15, 20, whatever amount of people. The price will be lower, but it won't be one-on-one. I'm also going to start doing a podcast mastermind. I've been doing masterminds on my Patreon for almost a year, and it's one of my favorite things that I do on there because it's sort of like a group therapy session in a way, where it's just nice to get other people's perspective on things, and it keeps you accountable. So the mastermind will be something where we'll meet once a week for a month, or we'll figure out the times, and those aren't available yet. I'm still figuring that out. But when you are on there, you'll be able to launch your podcast with the input from others on names, on guests, on genres, and by the end of it, you'll have a podcast ready to go. And I'll also probably do one for established podcasts. Hey, listen to an episode. What could I do better? That is what I want to do for people. So please, if you or a friend are interested in podcasting, go to SyattConsulting.com. Thank you very much. Thank you to Manscaped and Fume for sponsoring the episode. And yeah, this is you haven't heard the last from me unless I die. If this is the last episode, I love you, and I will hopefully and most likely see you next week on What Was I Thinking. Bye, guys.